that commercial turned out pretty well. It's really helped the company grow.
Yeah, it looked great. Definitely ready for the air, man.
Do you think we need to hire some new people though to help us with the growth and bring in some new customers?
Oh, we definitely need to hire some new people.
All right, let's put ads on Craigslist, and then we'll do some interviews this week. We can both sit down and make our selection process.
Oh, sounds great.
Hey, it's already 2:15. I wonder where our first interview's at.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, here he is.
I'm sorry guys, I was running late.
Not a problem.
Hey, my name is Fahim. Nice
Kevin,
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Ryan,
Nice to meet
have a seat.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for taking the time to interview me today.
Oh, no problem. So, Fahim, looks like you're interviewing for the job of customer recruitment.
Okay, so
Yeah.
for this job, it needs to be highly motivated because we want to make sure that you are constantly signing new customers. So, I mean, do you have any experience in jobs that are with high motivation?
Haven't really had any experience as of yet, but I feel like I could do it.
Okay. Okay, to help make a highly motivated job, there's a couple characteristics we like to focus on. First one is autonomy. We want to make sure that you have the power to sign your own people, make your own decisions, and it allows you to feel like you're a part of the team. On top of that, that goes into significance. We want to make sure you understand that you signing new customers and bringing in new revenue is how we are successful and how we're going to meet our goals for this year. And then finally, there's a lot of variety. So you're going to be dealing with different people, doing different things, going to different events at different times. No 2 days are going to be the same. So does that make sense? Something like you're kind of interested in?
It sounds like a great company and a great idea, and I would love to work with you guys.
Okay.
We like to set specific and challenging goals for all our employees. So for a recruiter like this, it'll be a certain amount of people you have to recruit each month for the job, and this also sets up for instant feedback for you, so you always know how you're doing on the job. How does that sound?
It sounds like I haven't really had experience like this in the past, but I feel like if you guys give me a chance, I may be able to exceed in this position.
Perfect. We'll let you know. Thank you.
All right,
Thanks a lot, Fahim.
Thank you. Yeah.
Give you a call.
All right, thank you.
All right, so I think the interview went well, but I think he kind of missed some of the points on the motivation, and I don't know exactly how motivated this guy's really going to be.
I mean, he sounds like he's willing to give it a try, but yeah, I'm not sure about him either.
We need high motivation.
We need higher motivation than Fahim.
Let's bring somebody else in.
Let's bring in, yeah.
All right, so I think our next interview is in about right now. Hopefully it'll be a little better than the last one.
Oh, I hope so.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm
Okay.
Megan.
Kevin, nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet
Ryan.
you. Nice to meet you.
Have a seat.
Thanks.
Alright, Megan. Well, it looks like you are interviewing for the position of new customer recruitment.
So just to talk a little bit about the personality traits, there's a couple things we identified to make sure you're good at what you're interviewing for. So a couple of personality traits we like to look at is we want to make sure you're extroverted. You're a little outgoing. You go into new situations very well. On top of that, we want high agreeableness with customers.
I usually like to keep to myself, and I don't really like interacting with other people. I work on a night shift currently, so I don't really feel that comfortable with recruiting new customers for a business.
Alright, Megan, I'm going to ask you a couple situational questions, which are good for us because they show us how you'd act on the job. First off, could you tell me how you would go about recruiting a potential customer?
Okay, in that situation, I think I would just rather let the customers come to me because I don't feel very comfortable reaching out to strangers.
All right, well, for the last part, I think we got a pretty good understanding of your personality and how you fit in this company. However, we would like to give you a test that tests your personality, just asking a couple questions from 1 to 5. And I know a lot of them seem repetitive, but we want to make sure it's reliable and valid for the job you're applying for. So we take a few minutes and just fill it out, and then we'll have an assessment after that. But thanks for coming in.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
Same here. All right, so we got our results back. I'm not really sure how I feel about her person. Obviously, the interview didn't go very well, but her personality test was way off of what we're looking for.
You know, that is true, but I'm not sure how valid it is to use this test because we didn't give it to all our candidates.
It's true. This hasn't been a really structured interview process. Maybe we should go through and reevaluate how we're looking at people before we go into the next one. I really wish we could bring him back in and take the test, but at the same time, really didn't think that he was worthwhile in the first place.
I don't think Fahim's worth our time.
All right, so we got one more interview left. Let's see if we can talk something a little better.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully this is better than the others.
Hi gentlemen, I'm Scott.
Scott, nice to meet you. I'm
Ryan,
Kevin.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Alright, Scott. Looks like you're interviewing for the new customer recruitment position. Ryan's going to tell you a little bit about this.
Okay, so to to have someone hired, we want to make sure they're going the extra mile and they're involved in organizational citizen behavior. We want you to be a team player. We want you to put the team first, the company first, and not so much think about yourself, but the citizenship of the organization as a whole.
Well, I really like putting the company first before me. I love helping out coworkers that are in need of assistance. I take my work home. I really just feel that I am very exceptional in this field.
Excellent.
Do you have any disabilities we should know of?
Well, I don't usually like to tell people, but I'm actually colorblind. So, just felt I should be honest during this interview.
Okay, so last thing I want to talk about is your equity. Obviously we want you to not so much compare yourself to other people. If you, how do you feel if you make less or more than another person, or if you're putting in more time and more effort than another person? Do you want to change the amount of effort you put in, or how do you feel about your equity in the company?
Well, I really just try and focus on myself. I don't really compare myself to other people. I just want to put my best foot forward and do as much for the company as I can.
Perfect. I think we've got a pretty good understanding here, and we'll give you a call a little later.
Excellent.
Right.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys too. Thank you.
So I think he was definitely the best. Obviously he was a Red Wings fan. If he makes one good decision, he's going to make a bunch of good decisions.
One good decision, he's going to be the best.
He was
colorblind.
Well, I'm not sure not hiring someone because they're colorblind is a very good idea. I don't think asking that question in the interview was probably one of the worst decisions you could have made.
I don't know about that, and I don't know about people who are colorblind.
All right, so what do you think about the interviews?
Scott was probably the best. He was extroverted. He seemed really into it. He was a Red Wings fan. At the same time, I don't know. He was colorblind.
I think the problem is these interviews were all different. The one we talked about the introduction to the job and some of the different goals, and then the next one we talked about the personal characteristics, and then the final one we talked about their behavior. So I think right now we basically have 3 complete unstructured interviews, which is probably the equivalent to one structured interview. So I think maybe we should reassess this, maybe take a management course and figure out where we need to go going forward.
I think that sounds good.
All right.
I think Management 315 is the choice.